Welcome back, everybody, and today on the channel I'm going to be doing something a little different than normal, and that is a beef jerky taste testing. Now, I don't normally buy beef jerky, nonetheless even taste test it on this channel, but I felt like this is going to be an interesting one because I have 3 flavors of beef jerky from Buc-ees. Now, if anyone has ever been to a Buc-ees, you understand how special it was. I've been to 2 now, one down in Daytona Beach, and more recently, about a week and a half ago in Virginia when I was down there with my family on vacation. Now, if you've been to a Buc-ees, like I said, you understand just how amazing it is. But for anyone who hasn't, Buc-ees is kind of like the department store / supermarket of rest areas. Now, normally when you go to a rest area, you might just have a bathroom and some vending machines, or you might have one of those full-fledged service rest areas that have like a Burger King, a McDonald's, a Starbucks, just different restaurants in there. But Buc-ees does something a little bit different. And there's a reason that they're beloved and that they've gotten so popular over the last couple years. It's because they're huge. Now, you go to a Buc-ees and they have probably around 80 to 100 gas pumps, first off. That's amazing. And then you go into their store and they sell a little bit of everything, right? Along the back wall, you have a bunch of different soda fountains with probably like 40 to 50 different sodas. In the middle of the store, at least the one I went to in Virginia, you have your prepared foods area, if you want to call it that, where you can get brisket sandwiches, chicken tenders, smoked sausage, just straight barbecue that they're preparing there in store. They have saltwater taffy. They have their own hot sauces you can buy. They have fudge that you could buy. And more importantly for me, one of my favorite snacks is their beaver nuggets, which are fantastic if you've ever had them. But what I wanted to look at today, because I picked up 3 packs of it, was their beef jerky. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm not a huge fan of beef jerky, but because Buc-ees is just amazing, I had to do this taste testing on the channel. So I have 3 flavors here that I'm gonna try out and just see how well Buc-ees beef jerky is. So we have Korean barbecue, mesquite peppered, and then jalapeno honey. For what it's worth, the Buc-ees I went to down in Virginia, they had like 2 whole walls full of different types of jerky, all different flavors. And then when you went to like this other kind of prepared food area in the back of the store, they had jerky just kind of sitting out that you could buy by the pound that wasn't prepackaged. And I thought that was crazy. You know, before we go into it, they don't just sell food. Buc-ees also has sections where you can buy clothing. And not even just like Buc-ees branded stuff. Like they had stuff for James Madison University down there, and that's because JMU is like 5 minutes away. You could buy books there. You could buy coffee mugs, candles. It's just kind of crazy the amount of things they offer in a rest area. And I think they only have probably 30 to 40 locations in America. They're started in Texas. They've been kind of working their way in different spaces. Unfortunately, up by me in New Jersey, they don't have a Buc-ees, and a lot of that comes, I think, because you have to have gas attendants here in New Jersey. It's not self-serve, and then that creates a whole logistical issue, especially space as well. Maybe South Jersey could fit one, but definitely not anywhere up by me for how much real estate they need. The closest one probably are the ones that are either in Virginia or North Carolina, but I did see that they go as far up as Ohio now, which is kind of cool. So hopefully one day, maybe they'll put one in Pennsylvania somewhere that it'll be closer and I can go there all the time to buy snacks. I don't need to buy snacks, don't get me wrong, but their snacks are pretty darn good. So with that being said, let's get into the beef jerky. The first one I'm gonna start with is jalapeno honey, just because I feel like it's gonna have a little bit of kick to it and a little bit of a sweetness. Let's open it up. Now, luckily, these aren't super high in calories, and jerky in itself is usually a decent protein snack. So it does say per container, it is 4 servings per container. Each serving size is 1 ounce. And the calories go from anywhere from 70 in this one up to 100 in this one. And the protein kind of varies as well. These 2 have 11 grams of protein per serving, and then this one has 13. So it is low calorie. It's not super high in fat either, only like 1 to 3% of your daily value. A little bit of sodium, about 25% in each one of them, but that's fine. Ingredient wise, for jalapeno honey, we have beef, water, honey crystals, sugar, brown sugar, beef stock, vinegar, salt, jalapeno flakes, sodium citrate, natural flavorings, jalapeno powder, monosodium glutamate, soy sauce powder, and sodium nitrate. So let's get a piece of this. I'm probably only gonna do like 1 piece per bag so I don't have to sit here and devour it all. But let's get a nice size one. Now, even just from opening this, the scent of the jerky comes off and it smells spicy. This one actually kind of smells like a Slim Jim a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But let's take some bites. Okay, I see you, Buc-ees. Now, what I like about this is it's sweet. It has a little kick to it at the same time. Now, what I'm getting fully is just like a really sweet honey beef taste, which I like. But as you start chewing it, it starts to heat up in your mouth, which tells me it's that jalapeno that's coming out. It's not super hot, and I'm okay with that because anyone who's ever had jalapeno before, like straight up, it's not really one of the more offensive peppers, right? It's not super hot. Jalapeno has a little tang to it, a little heat to it. To me, I love putting jalapenos on stuff. It's kind of, to me, like a step above banana peppers, right? And maybe a little bit before habaneros. Because banana peppers aren't really spicy at all. They're more like tangy. And I think jalapenos, to me, feel like they're right above that. And then habaneros are where you start to get a little bit hotter. I put peppers on a lot of things. That's just my opinion because I tend to buy jalapenos a lot to put on sandwiches and whatnot. So I do like this. I like that it's sweet. I like that it has a little bit of a kick to it. And I like that the heat just kind of starts appearing as you're chewing. Jalapeno honey is pretty darn good. Now let's go on to mesquite peppered. This one, we have beef, water, brown sugar, beef stock, spice, granulated garlic, sugar, dextrose, vinegar, sodium citrate, mesquite smoke flavor, and sodium nitrate. Now, how do I think this is gonna taste? I feel like this is gonna be a little bit smokier, and that's not just because it's mentioned on there, but I think the pepperness is gonna add a good flavor to it. I think this is gonna taste like it's straight like barbecued, in my opinion. So let's open this up and see if I'm right or not. Now, it's interesting too that these do say refrigerate after opening, which, I mean, I'm gonna do. Obviously, I don't want this to go bad, but I've noticed like beef jerky, as I've refrigerated in the past, it tends to get hard and loses its texture. Is beef jerky meant to be like eaten all in one sitting? Let me know. Now this one offhand does give like a barbecue scent. It kind of smells like something fresh off the grill. And oddly enough, it smells like a brisket sandwich. Not like the breading, but it smells like the beef and the barbecue sauce. So let's try it out. Let's see if it actually tastes like what it smells like, in my opinion. I don't know if it's just the piece I got, but it's definitely a little tougher than the jalapeno honey. But yeah, this one is definitely giving me like smoked meat vibes. in the sense of like this tastes like it was left on a smoker. It has like that nice flavor to it. But it's also a very mild flavor, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't pack as much of a punch as the jalapeno honey, and not even just like in a heat sense, just in terms of like an overall flavor sense. I think it's different. It's not like overly sweet. What it really tastes like to me is if you just had like a piece of beef and glazed it with like a nice barbecue sauce, but didn't overdo it. It's good. I was definitely hoping it was going to be a little bit more flavorful, but that's not like a bad thing. That was just my own hopes for it. It's tasty. I was just hoping for a little bit more flavor, but for someone who doesn't like a overly flavorful piece of beef jerky, you do get a nice beef flavor out of here. And it kind of tastes more traditional. I mean, when I look at it, this is the one with the least amount of calories. It also is the one with the least amount of sugar. So that probably makes sense as to why it's not overly sweet. And oddly enough, it ties jalapeno honey for fat, but beats out Korean barbecue. It also is the one that has the most amount of salt to it, which kind of makes sense. I think with that smoky flavor, I feel like there's definitely a little bit of salt to it. It's all right, you know. I definitely think I like jalapeno honey more, but this is the interesting one, is Korean barbecue. Because I feel like this is the one that has the most to prove with the name. Because Korean barbecue, I don't know if I've ever actually had it. I kind of am interested to see, though, what kind of flavor this packs. Because I don't want to say I've had Korean barbecue. I think I've had I've had Korean fried chicken. I might have had like some Korean beef at some point, which is why I think I picked this up. But I'm not entirely sure what Korean barbecue is supposed to taste like. So let's see if Korean barbecue beef jerky surprises me. The ingredients, though, we have beef, water, brown sugar, regular sugar, soy sauce, mirin, vinegar, sesame seed oil, sodium citrate, natural flavoring, sesame seed, salt, and sodium nitrate. Now, this one does have an interesting set of ingredients, but it's mostly Asian ingredients in that sense. You got your soy sauce, your mirin, vinegar, sesame seeds. So I'm kind of very interested to see what this one is going to taste like. So let's open it up. I like that opening these bags, the scent just kind of comes like straight out of the bags. That's very like appetizing in that sense, I think. This one smells like it's going to be very, very fire. So let's see. Get a nice size one. This one, like the meat's also, I think, like redder than the other ones have been. Like if you look at this, it kind of has like a nice like red tint to it, where like these are more brown. This one's a little red, but this one, yeah, like 100%, like full on gives like a little hue out of it. It's also, I think, a little bit more tender than the last one. So flavor-wise, it's definitely given Asian vibes in terms of flavor. You get a nice what do you get? You get a nice soy sauce taste out of it. And a little bit of a vinegariness. Again, the flavor is very mild on here. And I kind of like that, because too much of a soy sauce flavoring can be a little bit overpowering in my opinion. I'm not the biggest soy sauce fan, but I like this. This has a nice little like odd sweetness to it. I want to get like a little piece. Look at this little thing. It's like a little string of meat. This is flavorful. You know, I said it was a mild flavor, but that doesn't mean the flavor isn't there, right? It has a nice flavor. It has like hints of the soy sauce, the sesame seed, the vinegariness, and I think the marin. I don't really know if I know how to describe what marin tastes like. I've had it in like Chinese foods and Asian food before, but I do like this. This has like a nice twist to it. It has a sweetness, a soy sauciness, but it's not overpowering. As I mentioned, if it had too much soy sauce, I think it would have like thrown off the flavor a little bit and taken away from it. I like how evenly balanced this is. And if you are a fan of like Korean food, I think this will be like right down your aisle. It has such an interesting flavor in a good way. It's very well balanced. It has a nice barbecue-y taste, right? In that sense, it's definitely prepared different than what like American barbecue is naturally, because barbecue all over the world has different styles. And this does hit what I would believe Korean barbecue would be. And I do like it. But if I were to rate these, like one by one, what I think is the best, I think I'm gonna go with jalapeno honey as my favorite one, just because it has that sweetness and it has that sensation that your mouth starts to heat up as, I guess, the jalapeno flakes start to like activate and kick in. I like that. I like spicy, and I would pick this one up again. Second, I'm gonna go with Korean barbecue. I like the flavor that this gives off. It gives a different kind of vibe than traditional beef jerky that I've had. And it does also have a nice flavor. I would probably pick this up also. And then for my third place, and I don't mean this like in a bad way, I'm gonna go with the Mesquite peppered. Now, I think more or less it's because this just tasted like smoked meat, which is fine because that's kind of what jerky is, but the flavor itself, it didn't really shock me all that much. It tasted to me more like a barbecue, right? This tasted to me more like American barbecue. It tasted like it was jerky drizzled with a little bit of barbecue sauce, in my opinion, and that's fine. But the other thing was the pieces of jerky that I had were a little tough. The other two were relatively like tender and easy to pull apart. Mesquite peppered, maybe it's just this batch, but it was a little tough. It was easy, fine to chew, but it just wasn't as tender as the other three. However, flavor is good, just not, my number 1 or 2 spot. I would love to try other Buc-ee's jerky like along the way, because again, they had like so many different flavors. Next time I'm at one, I'll get 3 different flavors, maybe do a review again. But that's my quick little review of Buc-ee's beef jerky. 3 flavors that I picked up while I was in Virginia. If you've had any of these before, leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Which one is your favorite? Have you had a flavor that I did not try here today? Or do you have a specific snack from Buc-ee's that is always your go-to? Let me know down below. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I will catch you later. See ya. Bye.